Gareth Southgate has slapped Scottish football in the face, according to Barry Ferguson, and it's all because Jack Butland doesn't play down south. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Football. And former Rangers captain Barry Ferguson is not happy with Gareth Southgate and the fact that he has left Jack Butland out of the latest England squad. Barry Ferguson doesn't believe that Butland should have been left out, and he believes that Butland is better than the goalkeepers that Gareth Southgate selected. Now, the choices Southgate made were Aaron Ramsdale, who is the second choice keeper at Arsenal, Sam Johnson of Crystal Palace, and of course Jordan Pickford, who is the number one for Everton and appears to also be the number one for England. But Barry Ferguson doesn't think this is right. He thinks that Jack Butland should have been picked, and that if Jack Butland wasn't playing in Scotland, then he would 100% have been selected for the squad. So this is what Barry Ferguson had to say. He says, quote, "I was watching the announcement and I couldn't believe it. And I'm not just saying this because he's the Rangers goalkeeper. I honestly don't know what to say. The keepers that were picked in front of him, yes, they're good keepers, but are they better than Jack Butland? I don't think so. It cracks me up. It's a slap in the face of Scottish football. Why hasn't he made that squad? Because he's playing up here? I keep saying to people Jack Butland might not have to make 10, 12 or 15 saves during a game, and certainly not when Rangers are playing at Ibrox. But if he's only having to make 1 or 2 saves during 90 minutes, it means his concentration levels are sky high. That tells me the guy is focused and tuned right in. So when I saw the squad, I thought, typical. It just shows the disregard they have for our game. What they don't realise is the pressure he's playing under in every single game. As a Rangers keeper, you're expected to win every game and produce the goods up here. He's under more pressure than any of the other keepers in that squad. Just look at the way he's handled that and the saves he's come up with. Butland is better than the keepers they have picked, and I'd go as far as saying he's better than the current England number one. He must be thinking to himself, what do I have to do here? End of quote. Now, Ferguson also went on to say that he doesn't expect Butland's form to suffer, despite Butland being disappointed, not being in the squad, that he thinks it will have no effect on Butland and how he reacts to this. So Ferguson went on to say, quote, I know the way he'll react. I've seen the type of character he is, and I've spoken to him on a couple of occasions. He'll know he should have been in the squad, but he won't let his head go down when there is so much still to play for this season. If I was him, I would be disappointed. I would be angry. But if he's angry, frustrated or disillusioned, then he'll use the remaining games of the season to go out and show just how good a goalkeeper he is. There is still a slight opportunity for him to go to Germany, but not making it into this squad suggests that that's not going to be the case. And that's the wrong choice. But all Jack can do now is continue to play the way he has since he came up here. He can't influence anything else, and since he's come up here, he's been an absolute man-mountain at the back for Rangers. End of quote. So Barry Ferguson there, not happy at all about the fact that Jack Butland has been left out the England team. And I think Barry Ferguson actually has a case. I think that Barry Ferguson is probably spot on actually about Jack Butland. That I would go as far as saying he is probably the best goalkeeper that England have right now. I think that he is better than Sam Johnson for sure, and I think you can make a case about him being better than Aaron Ramsdale and Jordan Pickford, but for whatever reason he's not been picked. Whether it is because Gareth Southgate doesn't rate him as highly as the other three, or is it because Gareth Southgate doesn't rate the Scottish Premiership as high as he rates the English Premiership? I mean, it could be that. We've also seen Butland, though, playing in Europe, so Gareth Southgate has had a large sample to judge Jack Butland this season, and he hasn't picked him. Like I said, Butland's played a lot of games in the Scottish Cup, League Cup, Europa League, Scottish Premiership. He just hasn't picked him, so maybe Gareth Southgate, it's an issue with the fact he plays the majority of his games in a domestic league that maybe Gareth Southgate doesn't rate. or it could just be that Gareth Southgate doesn't think he's as good as Jordan Pickford, Sam Johnson and Aaron Ramsdale. I personally do agree with Barry Ferguson though. I think it's more of a fact that it's just, I mean, it's English arrogance at the end of the day. I mean, we've seen this so many times where someone plays in Scotland or a team comes from Scotland and they just don't give them any credit. It happens domestically, it even happens at international level. They just think if you're playing up here or if you're from here or whatnot, then you cannot be any good. And, you know, we've even had it with our own managers in the past where Scotland managers wouldn't pick anybody playing in Scotland. They would always pick the players playing in England first because they think that's the higher level, therefore that makes a player a better player. So there's just, that's not true at all. Yeah, you can play in a better league, but it doesn't mean you're a better player. Does that mean that everybody playing in the English Premiership is better than everybody playing in the Scottish Premiership? Absolutely not. There's some passengers in the English Premiership that shouldn't be there, that are stealing a living. And then there's some players in the Scottish Premiership that are probably, you know, too good for the Scottish Premiership, to be honest, and could play at a higher level. I mean, that happens in all leagues. Just because you play in a higher league, that doesn't automatically mean that you should be picked over someone that plays in a lesser league. You know, it happens in all sorts of life, whether it be football, whether it be your workplace or profession or whatever. You know, it's not always the case. So I do think that Gareth Southgate here has made a mistake, but here, I'm glad that he hasn't picked Jack Butland. I don't want England to do well, so hopefully England get fucked out in the groups, and yeah, I'll be happy with that. But I do think Jack Butland deserves a cut. I mean, Jack Butland could be playing. It's crazy. If Jack Butland never went to Rangers, he probably would be the Man United #1 right now, and that would definitely be enough to get him in. But because he moved to Rangers, that's actually harmed his chances of getting into the England squad. I guess, I don't know, does Butland regret it? Do you think Butland... I wonder if Butland right now could turn back the time. Would he stay at United? I mean, he probably would. I think Butland would fancy his chances of being the #1 now. I mean, Onana had a shitload of errors. I can't imagine that Jack Butland would not have been put in there and would not have earned the #1 spot at United right now, and that would have probably got him in to the #1 spot with the England team. But he moved to Rangers. He's having a good season at Rangers. He's won a trophy at Rangers. He'll probably win many more trophies at Rangers, but I don't think he'll win many more caps, and that's just the honest truth. So, yeah, Jack Butland maybe sacrificing country for club. We'll see how that goes for him. Rangers are playing Dundee later today. I wonder if we'll get another Jack Butland clean sheet and Rangers to go back top of the table. Will that happen? Who knows? And again, he could still go to the Euros in the summer, but I think it's highly unlikely. These friendlies are coming up. These are a chance to showcase players, to play players, to experiment and things like that. And for me, if Jack Butland's not getting picked for the friendlies, that kind of means that he's not getting picked. I mean, you look at Steve Clarke with Scotland, he picked 4 goalkeepers, even though he's only going to take 3. He wasn't ready to commit yet. He wasn't ready to, you know, drop one of those keepers, and it just shows you that Gareth Southgate is ready to drop Jack Butland, and he hasn't got him in his plans for the summer this year. Anyway, guys, that's it for football. Catch you in the next one. Let me know your thoughts down below. Does Jack Butland deserve to be in the England team? Is he good enough? Should he be ahead of either Sam Johnson, Jordan Pickford, or Aaron Ramsdale? Let us know in the comments down below. I'll catch you in the next one. Till then, though, peace.